let me say how grateful I am for your words and for your guidance. You know, you said it. I would put it exactly in another direction, the way which is said. We may know, but we need to know the practical. And the truth is, we know a lot about the practical, but we need you to help guide the important, the truly deep and important. And for me, coming here has been such a profound experience of life for the last 10 years, because you are drawn to something very, very deep and very enriching, and something you do not get on your spreadsheets or your workshops. And what we're discussing are very, very important things that cannot be discussed without the wisdom that you are imparting to us, and also the 2,000 years of wisdom and knowledge that we are so cut off from somehow often. I've been remarking in my formal training and for 30 years of professional work at what is regarded at the highest level of academic economics worldwide, I never was led back to anything before 1776 when Adam Smith wrote The Wealth of Nations. We were told that was the classic age, and now we're in the modern age, and all that this is based on in terms of our values, our humanity, our knowledge, our spiritual and sacred wisdom is cut off in practical ways. So this merger in this remarkable house is something very special. I don't know of other places in the world like it. But this is why I so much feel that the wisdom that the patriarch gives and how you've changed the world through that wisdom, and the wisdom that you share, because it's a tradition that's so deep, and not only tradition, a wisdom that's so deep that we need you to help us to see that. And with that, I think we really can go. We can go farther, and we can do a lot. I feel that the next years are extraordinarily significant for the next decades. And the reason is that the upheaval that we have felt in the last 2 years is something extraordinary, as you noted. It's the biggest upheaval that the world has felt as a world since the Second World War. We know that we've had, perhaps one could say, 3 such upheavals in the last century, around World War I and its aftermath, around World War II and its aftermath, and perhaps now, because not only do we have the pandemic, but we have the growing ecological catastrophe, and we have the dislocations throughout the world, and we have political systems that are shaking. And I think it is poignant and important for humanity that after 1918, we got almost everything wrong, actually. Almost nothing was right after the end of World War I. The decisions that were taken, the retributions that were made, the divisions, of course, from the Ottoman Empire, the collapse of several empires, turned out to be the breeding ground of something even more vile and evil than we had ever imagined was possible in modern times. After World War II, we were extremely lucky in some way. We had at that moment the greatest president the United States ever had in its history, Franklin Roosevelt, who was just a remarkable person. And his own battle with polio, no doubt, deepened his personality profoundly, but he had a gift of wanting to do the right thing, which is not so common among American presidents, by the way. It's not to be taken for granted. And he helped shape the United Nations and a sense of internationalization. It turned out to be fragile. The Cold War quickly ensued. We survived that by the slightest margin. The world almost ended on October 26th, I think it was, 1962, when a nuclear tipped torpedo was put into put into the gun, and the order was to launch, and it was countermanded at the final moment by a Soviet official on a submarine. And but for that, we would not be here. I think we have another chance right now, and the next years are going to be very consequential for that. And I think the stakes are extremely high. The odd part is the technical side is the least of it. To me, it's a footnote. My colleagues laugh at me because I still deal with billions of dollars. They're already into trillions, tens of trillions. Because what we need to heal is not so large, but it's so hard to get because it requires not overcoming vast, impenetrable physical barriers, but mental barriers. And that's what remains before us, not the lack of solutions, the not knowing what to do, the insurmountable costs, the irreversibilities. Those are not the truths. The truths are in our heads. And therefore, the spiritual guidance is the most important of all. It is really to open our minds. And Your Holiness, when you said that one of the lessons is that we are capable of changing history and changing our destiny, I think there's no message more important than this. And it's not to be taken for granted that that's understood. We have people in the United States just waiting for Armageddon right now. They don't see the destiny in their hands. Maybe they can't imagine it because they've been so disempowered. And when you said that the love of neighbor is more than neighborliness, but it means the struggle for the reform of what causes the crisis, this also is such a deep and crucial insight, which is also not to be taken for granted, because the deeper structures are not well understood. And these are the mental barriers that we face. So I want to thank you for the words, but especially for your wisdom and guidance and collegiality and friendship and inspiration that you give and gave to Ethics in Action. This is the continuation. We are all about ethics in action. And yes.
Maybe we have meeting that was in the beginning, remember, to all the religious leaders and to put the problem of the traffic.
Yep.
It was a very important operation, that is a crime against humanity. We have another meeting this morning that was in reality organized by the Academy. You know, the Secretary of State, of course. Sorry. And about the question of the climate change. But maybe we can suggest to the Pope to organize another meeting with the religious leader, to eradicate the poverty in the world.
Yes.
In the umbrella of the beatitude, to explain what is this beatitude in the line that was made by the Patriarch. It was very nice. This could be, because this is the program of Christ, and it's the program of the
Monsignor. A beautiful time to have that would be around May of next year.
We'll work on it. May is nice in Rome.
Yeah.
And Your Holiness, I know you have to depart.
Venido antes el Papa.
You're going.
He llegado a Roma en el 71, muchos años antes que el Papa Francisco. No hice carrera con el Papa Francisco. es mi amigo.
Non capisco
Ah.
spagnolo.
No, sorry. I say that I arrived here in Rome nel 1971, quindi prima del Papa Francesco.
Molto prima.
Sì. E sono molto amico, ma come siamo
Mi ha ricevuto-
argentini non
mi ha
mi
ri-
sente tanto come lo sente a lei, oltre perché
Mi ha ricevuto oggi
Sì,
udienza
un'audienza
privata.
privata. Come l'ha trovato?
We have the great
Bene.
joy of knowing you're coming to New York. So we're going to be celebrating
Very soon,
your arrival.
end of this month.
Yes.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah.
I heard that Rabbi Rosen will not be in the States when I shall be there.
Your uncle.
Your uncle,
Yeah.
you have collaborated a lot.
Yeah, he come many times.
And he's coming to Rome. Now, you're here still for a couple of days with San Egidio? Because Rabbi Rosen,
I will be here.
good. So you'll meet Rabbi Rosen.
No, I think on Friday.
Yeah.
Right.
That's very good.
Yeah. Honestly, I know.
So,